Yeah, if hold it, and then anytime you need to say next, just tell them next.
Awesome. Thanks so much for having me. I'm having a blast. I hope everyone else is having a good experience too. I'm going to talk to you about the ecosystem of Web3 and some of the stuff that I'm working on that I think is really exciting. Go ahead, the next slide. Okay, so I'm Dr. Gabrielle Polici. I had a long career in holistic medicine before I entered into the Web3 space. I'll tell you a little bit about how I got into the space and why I'm passionate about it, but we've heard the term Web3 a lot today. I'm going to tell you what it means to me. Some say Web3 is a new iteration of the internet, right? We've heard a lot about the technology. The keynote this morning was amazing, where we heard about the evolution of read-only to participatory to this decentralized space that we can all interact that's disrupting a lot of different industries. Please go to the next slide. Some say it's NFT collections. So we've heard about NFT collections. They're very popular. There's a sort of a gold rush towards NFT collections. I personally own one NFT, which I'm going to tell you about at the end. Can you go to the next slide? Slide, please. Great. And then we hear also about the Metaverse. So some people call it the Metaverse. It's not actually the Metaverse. There's many different kinds of Metaverse. There's Sandbox, Decentraland. We're actually partnered with TCG World as a Metaverse. So there's many Metaverses. And so when you think of Web3, you might also be thinking of the Metaverse. How many people here have been in the Metaverse? Oh, about half the room, not even. Wow, okay. Well, if you want to learn how to get into the Metaverse, come up to me afterwards and I'll teach you how to get into the Metaverse, because you should at least go in once and kind of see what's happening in there. Okay, so next slide. So this is an article that I wrote last month, and I say that Web3 is the Metaverse and it's NFTs and it's Bitcoin and it's all of these things, but it's also a whole hell of a lot more. So in my article, it's an ape, it's a blockchain, it's a meme-crazed crypto gang. I tell you about exploring the culture and the lifestyle of crypto, going to events like this. I went to like 30 conferences in 30 days last month in Miami because we had Bitcoin and Shitcoin and Bitcoin Unleashed and Emerge Americas, and 100,000 people came to Miami last month who were crazy about crypto. And so I met everyone from a woman who collects fancy hats to a Nigerian guy who calls himself a dream chaser to Bitcoin Maximus, like the whole crew, right? The crypto bros, the girl gangs, everybody was there, right? And so I really did a deep dive into what the culture of crypto is actually like, and that's what I think Web3 is. I think Web3 is people. I think Web3 is all of you that are in this room today. Next slide, please. So what is lifestyle, right? Lifestyle is it's style, it's fashion, it's music, it's art, it's values, it's status, it's the company you keep, the activities you do. So like look around the room, right? Like what are you guys wearing right now? You guys, some people are in jeans and t-shirts. I see button-down shirt dudes, right? I see ladies in fancy dresses, right? These like are choices that create your identity, right? And this is what's also happening in Web3 in digital and physical forms, like your avatar and the outfits you're buying for your avatar in the Metaverse. I don't know if you know this, but we currently have fashion shows that are happening in the Metaverse, and they have real life components that are happening face-to-face as well. Obviously, the NFT market is all about art and music. There's very strong values in this community. Like, I've talked to several of you in this room. Some of you care about equality. Some of you care about leveling the playing field for people in developing countries. Some of you care about the military. Some of you care about the law and about people being held accountable for their actions. These are values. And our culture of Web3 is embedded with incredible values and different value systems all colliding, which in my article I write about the paradigm shift, the ideological shift that's happening. Next slide, please. Okay, this is me. So I mentioned that I went to like 30 conferences in 30 days. This is Miami NFT Week. This is our founder of this conference right here, Chris. This is at Reblock. This is Emerge Americas. These are all the different events that are happening. So we like to think often of Web3 as something that's happening in a virtual reality, right? All the tech, all the apps, all the devices. This is real life. This is real life. I have met the coolest people in the last couple of months going from conference to conference, and what you're going to see if you are on this trajectory as well, you're going to start seeing the same people circulating around the globe, Dubai, Spain, LA, New York, right? We're a migration of people that are moving around we're connecting a lot in real life and seeing all kinds of diversity just in this image alone, right? We have people of different ages, different ethnicities, different genders. It's a really fascinating community. Next slide, please. So I currently work at Blockster. Blockster is a media company that writes stories and makes videos about everything that's happening in crypto culture. And that's really where my passion lies. Next slide, please. Okay, so what is Web3 lifestyle specifically, right? We've talked about lifestyle generically, but specifically, what is it? Well, conferences, happy hours, and yacht parties. Who got drunk last night at the Block Spaces party? Yes, I know Sam was there because Sam was hungover this morning. No. Okay, so Web3 lifestyle is parties. So many parties. I threw a party a few days ago at the Blockster Penthouse. I had LED screens that were as big as this wall that were projecting Decentraland Metaverse. I had the party in the Metaverse and I had the party in real life. And my guests were watching themselves on a screen in the Metaverse, and the people in the Metaverse could see the screen for the people at my party. Like, seriously? Like, it's crazy. No, wait. So, I mean, party is a big part of this culture, okay? Travel and adventures, I mentioned the circuit of different conferences and events people are going to. Celebrity projects, I'm going to talk a little bit about this in the following slides. The brands, the real estate, the cars, the tech, the devices, all of these things, they're creating this bridge, right? A lot of people in this room have already talked about the bridge and seeing those gaps. Some of these lifestyle brands are the bridge. They are filling those gaps to bring us all forward into the Web3. Next. Okay, how many people have watched Madonna's NFT? Has anybody in this room seen it? Just one person? You guys, immediately following this presentation, you need to Google Madonna's NFT. You can watch it. It's a little video. I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but I'm telling you, brace yourself. Yeah, and don't have children around you when you're watching it. It is completely X-rated and like sci-fi, scary X-rated. So anyway, but what is she doing? She's making a statement. She's being Madonna. She's pushing her brand into Web3, okay? She's being the same controversial feminist that she's always been. She's forcing the conversation about self-expression and about artistic expression, right, into the Web3 space. And she's doing it in a way that when you see this, it will burn into your brain. You will never be the same person after you see her NFT, okay? So, like, this is like an incredible manifestation of this moving into this new genre. Okay, next slide, please. Fashion. So I mentioned that there are fashion shows. There's a lot of brands in the fashion industry moving into this space. Vogue started a business club where you NFT into the club and you get access to exclusive things that are happening within the fashion industry. Next slide, please. Okay, we heard our keynote speaker talk about Fly Fish Club already, so raise your hand if you know Gary Vee. Ooh, not that many, like half of you. Gary Vee is an influencer. He's prominent in social media. He was one of the first to adopt NFTs as a social media platform. He used it for his V conference that just happened last week. He's taking NFTs and he's pushing them into all different spaces, again, to create more exposure, more adoption, and bring it more mainstream. So he's a great person to follow for, again, the layer of Web3 that I'm interested in is the layer of accessibility. That if you're someone who doesn't know anything about finance or anything about tech, this makes it accessible for you, and Gary Vee does that. Next slide, please. Okay, so Decentraland is one of many metaverses. There's a lot of parties that happened in the metaverse. So similarly to the party you guys had last night here, there are parties happening all the time in the metaverse, and they're partnering with different brands. Alcohol brands are becoming popular. There's strip clubs. There's this popular strip club in Miami that has an NFT collection that's partnered with some metaverse things. Next slide, please. Yeah, real estate. We've heard a lot about real estate. Real estate is, again, how many people here own real estate or have invested in real estate? Okay, about half the people in the room. So you can now, they just auctioned off a condo, a Florida condo, as an NFT. Did you guys see that? Just happened a few days ago, yeah? Right, okay, so I was speaking to someone earlier who's saying it's going to take a long time for like all real estate to go on the blockchain, and maybe we don't even need all real estate to go on the blockchain, but real estate is one of these bridges. Again, there's a whole crypto island. Have you guys heard of the whole crypto island? So there's places where you're building in real life and you're getting the version of it in the metaverse. These are lifestyle bridges. Next, please. Okay, so you want to join Web3. How do you get started? If you are someone who is building a business, there's going to be so many different opportunities for you to take whatever your brick and mortar business is now. It doesn't matter if you're a consultant, you're in services, you're selling jewelry. You can create a chip that you stick to your devices, that you scan it, and then you get the NFT version, or it's a QR code to something that you want people to sign up for. Next slide, please. Okay, and this is where marketing shift, that paradigm shift for marketing is important to absorb, because in traditional business and finance and marketplaces, we were always selling. We were promoting and selling products and services, building brand awareness in a very linear kind of way. And then we were using the content, user-generated content, pictures that people are posting. And then we were monetizing that, right? And we had talked about earlier how people in Web3, we actually get to own things again for the first time. And it's not just Bitcoin, but it's also user-generated content. Content creators are the ones who will benefit the most from the economy of Web3. Next slide, please. Marketing in Web3, it's more like Uber or Lyft. So in Uber or Lyft, you have drivers coming to meet the needs of riders, right? And they're coming together, and the more people you have demanding rides, the more drivers you have that can work. And that relationship, that ecosystem that's created in that model, similarly to eBay, artists putting up art, and then the buyers coming in to buy that art, that ecosystem, that's very similar to the kind of ecosystem that's happening in a Web3 environment. And it's different than that linear process that we've seen in traditional, this is my last slide, in traditional Web2 marketing. So this is my NFT community, Tuttle Tribe. Does anybody know Tuttle Tribe? Nobody knows Tuttle Tribe. Okay, well, Tuttle Tribe is amazing. Okay, so Tuttle Tribe, so Julia Tuttle is the founding mother of Miami. Yes, we have a queen who is the founding person of Miami, and her name is Julia Tuttle. And so this is my community. We have 1,000 women in this community who have all minted in, and when you mint in, you get like a little Tuttle image. And we do meetups all the time. We do meetups all the time, and they're educational programs, and we do breakout sessions, and we teach you staking and IP and smart contracts and all these things. And to me, this is like the perfect example of a use case for social impact, for community building, for self-expression, for utility of crypto that just makes so much sense and is completely aligned with my values. So we're still minting. You can mint at Web3 Equity if you want to become part of the Tuttle Tribe. Next slide, please. And this is me. So if you want to contact me, that's my phone number. I'm Dr. Gabby Polici on all social channels, and I'll hang out for a minute or two if you have questions. Thank you.
Round of applause, please. Thank you, Gabby.